Hello, YouTube family. I'm Patty Jackson. I'm your auntie of pop culture. I go by the nickname Ginger. Let's hug. Someone said, why don't you stand up when you're hugging? I said, you must be new to this channel. I'm a stroke survivor. And, learning how to walk. Well, getting in the chair is a whole nother thing because they have a special chair for me that I put myself up on that they got like just for me. So I wouldn't be falling, leaning, or nothing like that. So that's why we don't do that. How was Mother's Day? Certainly hope it was a great weekend. It was a weekend with a lot of death. Let's start with Las Vegas star Roy Horn. Siegfried and Roy. Infamous Las Vegas act, the Magic, the Tigers. It was in 2003 that Roy Horn was attacked by one of those tigers and left partially paralyzed. He died over the weekend at the age of 75 from COVID-19. In the middle of the night, we got word about Andre Harrell, the record executive, who was 59, young. He had problems with his heart, and that's why he died. He founded Uptown Records, which spawned a whole musical genre. He started off as a rapper, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He was Dr. Jekyll. But when he founded Uptown Records, to have the ear, Guy, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Heavy D, Jeff Fred, Father MC, he had that ear, and it really spawned just something new and exciting in music. Puffy used to work for Andre, and after a year of them working together, Andre had to fire Puffy. But it was the best thing that could have ever happened because you ever hear that saying, sometimes a firing is a good thing? It was good for Puffy because he was able to go on and create Bad Boy Records. At the time, and Andre said this in an interview, he knew that the execs weren't really feeling who Puffy was trying to bring on with the whole Bad Boy. They didn't get it. He says, you should go and form your own so you can do your own. And he did. And that spawned a whole era. When you think of Jodeci, who looked, they look kind of like, they weren't clean cut like a Boyz II Men. But the records, Forever My Lady and Fiendin' and Come Talk to Me and oh my gosh. Then you think of Guy and New Jack, the New Jack Swing sound. It just spawned an era that just grew and just grew. And Andre Harrell was that guy. I interviewed him 2 years ago. He came to Philadelphia. He was looking for talent for a show called The Four. I don't even know if this show is still on Fox. He just had that ear, and I was so super excited because I'm thinking Andre Harrell, and I had like 1,000 questions for him, and we had a great time. But he passed away. Little Richard, 87, from bone cancer. He never got his due. He was the architect of rock and roll. He was, and he would tell you, I'm the godfather. I started all this. And he did. When you look at the musicians and stars that you love, the ones who didn't even live as long as him, your Prince and your Michael Jackson, their influence. Stevie Wonder, when he was playing that Fingertips. Mick Jagger, The Strut, because Little Richard was a showman. Elton John, Paul McCartney, that woo, I know I can't sing. But he would teach them all and give them tidbits. When I think of like a David Bowie, I think of current groups like a Lil Kakani. Little Richard, he was different. He had the pompadour, he had the eyeliner, he had the makeup, he had the stylish clothes. He was too much. So they would get somebody like a Pat Boone to re-record his music. He was funny, he was flamboyant, but boy, was he a trendsetter. And what he spawned in the music industry, where people didn't quite understand it in the 50s, where they didn't understand Little Richard. Like he's got that raw sexuality, but it could be accepted with an Elvis Presley. It's just interesting in the footnote of music that he played. Little Richard was a trendsetter. I think of Betty Wright, and I feel very guilty because I remember a few weeks ago when Chaka Khan said, keep her in prayer. And I know I remember talking about her with Unsung, but I meant to talk about her and give her due before she passed. And I felt so guilty because I'd just been meaning to just sing this woman's praises. She had her first Grammy when she was a teen. She had the Clean Up Woman, Tonight Is the Night, No Pain, No Gain, After the Gain. She was so respected in the music industry, dying at the age of 66 from bone cancer. She taught so many singers. When you think of your Shaka Khan's, when you think of your Mary J. Blige, who they brought her on as a vocal coach, because you realize that your voice is an instrument. Your instrument must last so you can make money. Betty Wright's voice, it was incredible, the high notes, and she was just so respected. She passed away over the weekend. Jerry Stiller, waking up to the news of this. Comic actor, 92, from natural causes. His son, Ben Stiller, wrote a great tribute. For many people, they didn't really discover a Jerry Stiller until Seinfeld, where he played Costanza Sr., Kings and Queens of Comedy. He was on there, character like that. But he and his wife, Ann Mara, Stiller and Mara, they were popular on all those shows back in the day, from Carson and Merv Griffin in the 50s. She died about 5 years ago. He had a long-standing career and a very funny guy who was able to evolve with each decade that came along. His son, Ben Stiller, who went on, Zoolander and movies like that, wrote a wonderful tribute to his dad. 5 people who were all legendary and in their own ways, in their own crafts, and opening doors. It was a weekend with a lot of death. It's going to be a girl for Kevin Hart and his wife, Iniko. They did a kind of little reveal. Kevin has a son and a daughter. Iniko gave birth to their son. Now they're having a daughter. The Hart family continues to grow. Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, their verses broke records. Next week, it's going to be all about Ludacris and Nelly. This should be interesting. Yvonne Orji, Molly from Insecure. Who knew she was a comedian? Didn't. Her first HBO special is going to be on June the 6th. Now, if you're a watcher, you're a fan of Insecure, why is Molly and Issa fighting? I hate to see friendships break up, and maybe they will get it together. But I know friendships are like relationships; they go through sometimes ups and downs. But it's really interesting. Her show is Mama, I Made It. Yvonne is from Africa. The jokes are funny. They are funny, because who knew? I can't wait to see it. But at HBO on June 6th, Pastor Jamal Bryant is coming out swinging. He said, despite his mistakes, he's a changed man. He may have got somebody pregnant back in 2016 from the church, but he's a changed man. We're going to see how changed he is. His ex-wife, Giselle Bryant, standing by his side. The Feeding America comedy special. Did anybody see it? If you didn't, going to re-air on the Weather Channel Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The Weather Channel, it's one of the channels from entertainment mogul Byron Allen. There's a lot of great comedians. He got the biggest names in comedy to all do sketches, and it was all dedicated to Little Richard at the end. Eddie Murphy, he came up with a sketch. Murray. Okay, the character, and he had skits and he had the teeth. It was just funny. Who says that he was the greatest entertainer of all time, who not only slept with Diana Ross, but Gladys Knight, Tina Turner, and he killed Berry Gordy's cat. Y'all gonna find this clip because it's funny. But he had these clips. He had President Obama saying he was the greatest entertainer alive, how he made Ray Charles wear shades. He was like, Ray, your eyes is moving. You gotta have shades on with it. It was a funny bit. Y'all know Eddie is coming back with a brand new character, Murray. The Fox Network is pulling from other sites with this COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of shows can't resume filming. One of the shows that they're bringing from a streaming network is the one with Gabrielle Union and Jessica Alba, called LA's Finest. In the beginning, they were kind of like it's a female bad boy, but it was on a streaming network, and a lot of people didn't see it. Well, you're going to see it this fall on Fox. Sheila E., she's been making headlines. Was she obsessed with having Prince's babies? At the time that Prince died, He wasn't speaking to Sheila E. She was out. She was like an outcast from his circle. And they're saying that Sheila wanted to own Prince, have his babies, fill every cell in his body. I've liked people, but I don't think I'd want to own or be in every cell in their body. Okay, was she obsessed? A lot of people are mad because she's been doing these tributes, and they were like, wait a minute. He threw you out of his circle a long time ago. It's very interesting. Tyra Banks says she was insensitive last week. These clips were leaked from 2006 from America's Next Top Model. The blackface, the teeth comments, making a girl do a photo shoot in a casket after she just left her funeral. And Tyra says, I was insensitive. She didn't argue. She didn't say it wasn't me. She said I wasn't sensitive. I think she's changed a lot since becoming a mom, but she said she was insensitive. Who's to blame for the crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others? Okay, and a strange twist here. Vanessa Bryant is suing someone who is associated with the pilot is saying that the passengers were to blame. Sometimes things come across and be like, how the passengers to blame? The pilot was going too fast. The visibility was poor. There was a lot of fog. Who knows how that's going to turn out? Because don't it sound crazy? Did we mention it's National Hospital Week? If you work in a hospital, we salute you. I've tons of notes. That's why I'm going through this. If you work in a hospital, and we salute the hospitals, particularly around this time. I got news on Kenan Thompson, everybody. He's not going to leave Saturday Night Live, but he's got a show on NBC that's supposed to be coming this fall. Chris Rock is not only directing, but he is going to be an executive producer. Kenan plays the dad of 2 adorable daughters. Andy Garcia is going to be featured in this, but Chris Rock has signed on. We talked about Yvonne Orji. Our prayers go out to singer Jasmine Sullivan and her family. Her mom has breast cancer, and we want to keep them in prayers. Jasmine has shaved her head in solidarity with her mom. And we talked about Murray. You probably have to Google and look for it. I'm gonna spend the afternoon so I can put it on my socials. But it was a really good comedy skit with Eddie Murphy. And if you missed it, the Weather Channel is going to rerun it Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm gonna just sip my water. I had a lot to talk about. But we had a lot of death over the weekend. People that will never be forgotten for whatever role they played in entertaining or making laugh or with a song or bringing forth artists. We lost people who made an imprint, made an impact, and that's why we're talking about them today. It's not cute not knowing. Toya, Dexter, they send their love. If you want to leave a comment, you can. The channel is growing. Tell a friend. If I heart you, that means that I saw it and I read it. We welcome all the new people. Subscribe to the channel because I'm here Monday through Friday, and we do have a weekend edition to kind of let you guys know what's going on, whether it's serious, kind of like Serious Today, or whether we're just busting it up and being funny. It's funny when newcomers come because I don't think they expect me to answer a comment or something, and they're kind of shocked. They're like, oh my God, she does read it. I do read. I'm trying to slow down because I'll be like, I know I have to slow down. I know I was talking a story about Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. He didn't like the way that he was managing the Charlotte Hornets, and I think I said Chicago Hornets. It happens. Y'all know, well, most of y'all know. Y'all know Auntie had a brain injury I'm the auntie of pop culture, and we're just gonna keep it going and just keep it. And if I could put a smile on your face as we go through this COVID-19, I think a lot of people are getting restless, and they are because it's depressing. We want to go back to our lives, and where we are on the East Coast, we're not going back no time soon. So I am here to entertain you, to put a smile on your face, to keep you in the know. I thank you. Let's hug out. Hug out. Have a great day. Tell a friend. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. It's not cute not knowing. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture.